Hey guys, I am Game Advisor, and today we're going to be doing a Terraria video about how to build your first house. Now, we do make tons of Terraria content, so if you want to see more content like this, please make sure to subscribe and like down below at the end of the video. If you don't like it, that's perfectly fine too. Thank you so much for watching, and let's get started. So first things first, what materials are we going to need in order to get started? Well, that's going to be wood and gel. Wood and gel are important because the gel allows you to create torches, which we can do here just in our inventory, and wood is going to allow us to make everything else vitally important that we're going to need in order to get our base started. So we've gone ahead and crafted the torches ahead of time. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a workbench next. Again, if you don't know how to do this, you just open up your inventory and you can craft these few little items. We've got the workbench now, so we're going to go ahead and place it down. And then if you look in this workbench, you can craft a few different things. First up, we're going to need 4 doors as a bare minimum. And then we're going to need 1 chair, 1 table. We're just going to go ahead and make 20 platforms, as well as about 200 walls. And as you can see, that only took up about 100 of my total wood that I had available. So let's go ahead and get started with the layout. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and find a nice flat starting spot, which I found one here. I can always level this out more if I need to later on, but for a starting house, this is plenty. So we're going to go ahead and build 5 blocks high. And then we're going to go ahead and pull out our platforms. Let's go ahead and get those. We're going to build those 3 across. Oh, we got a little slime here. Let's get rid of that. Then we're going to go ahead and build 12 across over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're then going to go ahead and build our next 3 wooden platforms, followed by another 5 down to the ground. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to grab our pick. We're going to actually go ahead and break these 3 blocks here on the bottom on each side, which will allow us to go ahead and place our doors. Now, doors, just so you know, must be connected to a block on the top and bottom, otherwise it will not place. I'll show you that here real quick. So if I wanted to place a door here, I can't do it because there's not a block above it. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing we did down below and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go all the way over because this is gonna be our roof. And then go back down. Now that we have that, we need to go 1 block down so that the doors will be able to fit on the edge right above the little platform. So right next to the platform on the actual wooden block, we're building above that. So we're going to go ahead and place that door down. We're going to place our next door down. Then we're going to go ahead and see if this qualifies as a room. Now I can tell you ahead of time, it is not. This room is currently missing walls. So we're going to go ahead and do that next by selecting our walls. And if you're on PC, you can hit Control and it will start to auto-fill in. Otherwise, you're going to have to manually drag it around. Now, I don't recommend just kind of doing this and just filling it in randomly. But if you have to do it manually like this, instead do it very systematically in such a way that you make sure you don't miss anything. For an example, if you look right here, that is a missing wall. So I need to fill that in. Again, we're just going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this base. It'll fill everything within the area your mouse is hovering over. I don't know exactly how this works on consoles, but the same concept is still there. You're going to make sure you fill everything in like we just did, and then we're going to go ahead and check and see if it qualifies as a house. As we can see, it's currently missing a light source, a table, and a chair. If you don't know how to get to this menu, you're just going to go to your inventory, and you're going to click on the little housing icon right here. I'm sorry I didn't mention that earlier, but that's how you get to that. So if you need to check if something's a house yet or not, that's how you do it. So let's go ahead and add our light source. We're going to put that right there. We're going to add our chair, we're going to add our table, and then check it one more time to be safe. And yep, it is suitable housing. So now that we have this all set up, let's go ahead and make sure we light up the base enough so that we don't get any random spawns happening, because nobody wants that. You don't want to be in the middle of the night and then all of a sudden have a zombie spawn inside your base. So as you can see, this is already moved in with Jake the Guide. Your guide might have a different name, but either way, the guide has moved in because this is suitable housing. In order for us to get new people to move into the base, we're going to have to make more housing. In order for something to qualify as housing, you're going to have a 10 block wide open space with a 4 block tall open space. That's why we built 12 across, because we had to build the doors, and those don't count as the open space. So if we want to expand our base, for an example, so we have room for a new person to move in, we're just going to go ahead and break these 3 top blocks, and then we'll do the same thing on this side. We're then going to go ahead and do our 5 block high method. Oh, you fell down, stinking slimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go all the way across. That way we have a new roof and we're safe. Then we're going to go back over to our platforms. Build those on each side. Fill it in once again. That way we have our background, and it qualifies as having its own wall. This is a mandatory thing you have to do for anything to qualify as housing, and I believe it will also help to prevent things from spawning inside your base. Once again, we're going to put our little blocks down here. Now, a quick thing to take note of is workbenches do count as tables. So in this room, we're going to use the workbench as our table so that we can craft in here if we ever need to. We're going to go ahead and craft our doors again, as well as our little chair. Go ahead and put our source of light in the base. I always like to have plenty of extra just to be safe. And we can go ahead and check just to make sure once again. Oops, we place that there. And we can go ahead and check once again just to be safe. This housing is suitable. That means that a new merchant will eventually come move in here, and then we can start buying and selling him different things. You're going to want to expand this a lot as you play throughout the game, but this is a great little base to get started, and you can expand downwards if you want to, as well as upwards. Now, of course, you're going to want yourself to have a little furnace. This is just going to take a small amount of stone, which can be found just about anywhere on the map. Just look for little gray blocks just underneath the dirt. You should see them all the time, but just take note, they are out there. They're not hard to find. Aside from that, the only other thing we're going to build real quick is going to be the campfire. The campfire will allow us to go ahead and get a health regen buff, as you can see here, if we're anywhere near it whatsoever. So I'll go ahead and just run way over this way, and you can see, even though it's off my screen, I'm still getting that buff. You can go surprisingly far without losing it. Of course, there are going to be other things like this throughout the game, but if you're just trying to get started, this is a perfect little starter house that's easy to build before your first night. You don't even need to have all these extra rooms up top, but you can keep expanding upwards and then horizontal, or whatever you want to do to make your house your own. The one last tip I will leave for you guys is that if you really want to go the extra mile, you can go ahead and actually mine out the blocks beneath you in such a way that you can still fit chests. Now, the reason we do this is because we can fit a little chest in that 2x2, access it, and still be able to actually craft things. I don't happen to have one on me right now, but just know you can build a whole row of chests down here, have all your crafting benches on this level, and then your chests don't take up any unnecessary space. I highly recommend you do it. It's really great for organization. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much all you need to know when it comes to building your first home in Terraria. I'm Game Advisor. Thank you so much for watching this video, and once again, if you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe. It helps us out more than you could possibly imagine. We do put out new content pretty frequently, so if you want to see more content like this, it helps us to know that this is something you guys are enjoying. I'm Game Advisor, and I'll see you next time.